Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I just wanted to kind of recap the presidential debate that we all watched yesterday and kind of my thoughts and thoughts of everybody that's been expressing them over whether it's social media or news outlets or whatever it may be, and kind of whether I think those thoughts are justified, and hopefully to open up a conversation in the comment section below whether you guys believe if it went well, if you believe someone won, if you believe it was a draw, whatever it may be. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. So stay tuned for all that. It should be a relatively short video, but it's mostly just gonna be me sitting here talking. So stay tuned for that. If at any point you do like the video, or if you've liked videos I've uploaded in the past, go ahead and hit the like button. That's the best way to push out my content to other viewers on YouTube, and also subscribe to the channel as we continue our climb to 1,000 subscribers. If we're going to make it by the end of the year, it's going to have to ramp up a little bit, but if we go beyond that, obviously we're going to continue producing great content. So I really appreciate everything you guys have done for me, and we're going to get right into it. So where do we really begin? It was a wild debate, and I actually I looked up debates in the past, and they were all very peaceful, except for maybe 2016 being the main exception, with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton both pursuing the presidency. And then the video I watched actually went on to explain that it kind of makes sense why now is not so peaceful, because of the fact that there's so much at stake in this country. If one side loses, like they're going to, that's the inevitable. One of these sides is going to lose. Obviously, that's going to hurt for a long time, and there could be major repercussions to the country for who loses and who wins. And obviously, neither side wants to do that, so they're both going to come out guns blazing, and all of these different things. Obviously, we saw President Trump do that quite a bit, whether he was interrupting, whether he was just simply stating facts over Joe Biden. And he has, to some extent, the right to do that. I do believe he should have let Joe Biden speak a little bit more. But I think to some extent he can do that in a debate, but obviously he needed to let Joe Biden respond a little bit more. And then on Joe Biden's side, he resorted to the name calling, which I don't know, that seemed very childish, whether it was him calling him a clown multiple times, but I guess Trump called him stupid and stuff like that. But that's like all grade school comments. You really shouldn't be breaking that on a presidential level, but that's kind of what you can expect. One big takeaway that hopefully everybody saw, and not just me, was Joe Biden really struggles with speaking. And when he kind of loses his train of thought, he would look back at the camera and be like, and this is what the main problem is we need to worry about the American people. And while that may be true, you can't just resort to that. And obviously, to some extent, whether you like him or not, you got to feel bad for the guy, because I feel like he's kind of been pushed into this position that obviously he's wanted, but he thinks he's in this position because of the fact that he's done a good job, that he leads the party, that he does all these things, and that he's the face of the Democratic Party. But I don't believe that's true. I think he's kind of been put here as a pawn because they know he's going to be a yes man, and if he may not live much past his first couple years of president, if he even makes it to that point, and then they take over and kind of reveal their full socialist plan that they may have in place. Whether you guys believe that or not, I think there is some of that going on. So that's it. You feel bad for the guy to some extent, whether you like him or not. And then you look over at President Trump. I think he could have, like I said, been a little more. If you really wanted to win the debate, if you will, I think he needed to let Joe Biden speak a little bit more, because he was kind of looking like an ass up there a lot of the time, which, I mean, people kind of knew that. The biggest thing I think I took away from everything, that went on last night was I don't think anyone really won. If you go to a CNN, they're going to say Joe Biden wiped the floor with President Trump. If you go to a Fox News, they're going to say, President Trump wiped the floor with Joe Biden. And I think President Trump had some really good points brought up, whether it's law enforcement, and try to get Joe Biden to answer questions on that. He didn't. Whether it's the money that is paid his son, has been paid to his son, that has been confirmed, that Joe Biden denied, which seemed like a lost cause anyways. Those were both really good points, but I don't think as a country, we really cared about that stuff. We kind of already knew all these things, and that's what I'm saying is the biggest takeaway that I have from it is that I don't think I don't think their minds were really changed. Maybe like the occasional moderate would lean one way or the other, but I feel like they were kind of already leaning that way to begin with, if I'm being honest. But I don't think any Democrats were swayed to vote Republican by any means, and I don't think any Republicans were swayed to vote Democrats by any means. I think it may be very interesting. I know they announced that a week from today, this is Wednesday, September 30th, as of the recording of this video, that there will be a vice president debate, and I think it would not surprise me if that could potentially sway the voters a little bit more, because I think that may be a little bit more peaceful, and I could be completely wrong on that, and probably nowhere near as many people are going to watch that one, but I think that is something to look out for. I think more could potentially be accomplished in that. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Another topic that everyone was bringing up is that the moderator kind of interfered with it, and obviously he's from Fox News, but he's not a super conservative guy by any means. They were saying he was kind of ganging up on Trump with Biden, and I kind of understand that, but at the same time, I think he was doing his job when he was trying to settle things down. I think good for him. That's his job. And I'm not 100% sure who the next couple moderators are in the next two debates, but I will be very interested to see how those things go as well. And like I said, hopefully it's just a little bit more civil. If I had to guess, it's not going to be, but obviously the American people deserve to hear what they believe. And I think if you really let them sit there and lay it out, like what they believe, if you don't already know, then you'll kind of be swayed a little bit more, because we know that Trump's pro-economy and stuff like that. We know Joe Biden's pro. Honestly, I don't really know. He's kind of a pawn at this point, which, like I said, I feel bad for him to that extent. But what a mess. Andrew Yang, one of the former presidential candidates running for president here in this last year and a half or so, tweeted out, he said, I think Joe won the debate, which I could definitely see. I would not be opposed to conceding that, but he also said that I think the American people lost, and I would 100% agree with the tweet that he put out. I think it's going to be a very interesting time period, and like I said in the video yesterday, you guys, everyone's sitting here telling you to vote. If you don't want to vote, don't vote. Don't go out and vote for someone who your parents told you to vote for, whether it's Trump or whether it's Biden. Don't do that. Don't vote for someone because that's what your parents told you to do. Don't vote for someone because that's what an athlete or a social media influencer told you to do. Go vote because you want to exercise your constitutional right as an American to do that. Don't do it for someone else. Do it for yourself. And again, if you don't want to, if you don't have any desire, if you don't have any interest in politics, then don't vote. It's as simple as that. You're not a bad person if you don't do that, and you're not a bad person if you do. So it's just vote with your heart. Like I said yesterday, vote with your heart and your mind, and truly believe in the person you vote for. Don't do it because of the fact that everyone else is telling you to do that. And we see a lot of that these days. Every ad here on YouTube is, register to vote. Every ad on TV is register to vote. You see signs hung up, whether you're on a college campus or, in your hometown, register to vote. We need people to vote. And obviously that's true, but again, don't do it if you don't want to do it. And that's not me trying to push people away. That's not me trying to, get more people to do it. That's just me telling you how it is, and that's really a lost art these days, I think. And a lot of my viewers, they're very honest in the comment section below, which I really appreciate, and hopefully that continues. Whether it's a political video, whether it's a finance video, and again, I don't like putting my opinions on you guys, and if at any point I ever do that, please stop me. Please leave a comment and say, hey, we don't want to hear this from you. We want you to stick to finance. We want you to stick to whatever. But I think to some extent it is nice to hear kind of a more neutral opinion on things and a more level-headed things, rather than like all the wild mania that's been going on in the world over the course of the honestly the last 4 years. You could say it's because of the virus, but it's been going on for a long time, and it's really sad to see a great country like this in such shambles. So like I said earlier in the video, let me know what you guys thought about the debates in the comment section below, and hopefully we can hold a conversation down there. I definitely don't want it to get mean or anything like that. I want it to be very peaceful, so we can all respect each other's opinions down there, and hopefully we can have good dialogue about the events we witnessed last night. So if you haven't already, go ahead and smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you guys for everything you've done for me, and we will catch you in the next one. And until next time, happy investing.